encouraged by the God presence in me. And may these words that you hear be captured by your soul, enlivened by the God presence in you. Amen. I want to begin this morning with a Mary Jo Leddy poem from her book, Radical Gratitude. We are grateful. You have given us this day and have given us this way to say thank you. We thank you for giving us what we need to be grateful. We offer back to you all that we have and all that we are. We know our thank you is as fragile as we are. It can be crushed by the care of the moment. It can disappear in the heat of the day. It can be blown away by the winds of suffering. And so we ask you to take our small thank you into your great act of thanksgiving. You, Lord of loaves and fishes, you who are from God, with God, and for God, you in whom it is all yes and amen. I wonder if there are any worriers amongst us. I wonder if there are any amongst us who, on occasion, feel some anxiety. In the person of Jesus, I believe, we see an example of what it means to live free of worry, to live free of anxiety, by living the practice of gratitude. Jesus knew that he had been born of God. He knew that he belonged to God, and he knew that he was a child of God. In understanding his origin, he also discovered that he was with God. And this was his particular form of power. This recognition led him freely and simply to give of himself and to give of his things. It allowed him, in the midst of incredible hardship, pain, and suffering, to give thanks for life. Jesus knew that practicing gratitude changed the world he lived in. And Jesus knew that encouraging the people he encountered to practice gratitude would change their lives and the world they lived in. But not the kind of change most would imagine. These ancient people believed that God was their patron, and as such would provide for them if they were faithful. Jesus recognized, however, that providing for does not mean a pot of gold, a miracle cure, or the elimination of an oppressor. Rather, Jesus understood that leaning into God creates a deepening of the soul that has one feeling more content, more blessed, and more able to offer gratitude for whatever life throws at us. Jesus said, "Don't worry," because he knew that worry and anxiety was fertile soil for sin. Think about that. Worry and anxiety makes it difficult to be grateful, content, happy, or feeling blessed. Worry and anxiety moves us away from God every single time. This I know very well from personal experience, spending way too much of my life worrying and anxious. And I'm still there, folks. I think I wrote this for me. Jesus also knew that the way out of worry was the path of forgiveness. Now that may seem like a bit of a leap, so I need you to stay with me for a bit. The way out of worry is the path of forgiveness. Forgiveness given and received is liberating. We know that. Forgiveness withheld is corrosive to the soul. Forgiveness is learning how to live in the world we know, looking for the moments of gratitude and blessedness. Our world is full of imperfections. In our families, in our churches, in our political systems, in the bad drivers on the road. It's the landscape. It's simply the way it is. Because of that, we need to be ready to forgive ourselves, each other, and our world over and over again. The very Reverend Peter Short, former moderator of the United Church, says, "Forgiveness doesn't change the world into Camelot. It's more humble than that. Forgiveness lived daily is a path, a way of life to life. You can't accomplish and be done with forgiveness. You have to forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive. For that," he says, "is a life of blessedness." Jesus practiced forgiveness. The Gospels are full of stories of forgiveness. The prayer he taught his disciples says, "Forgive us as we forgive those." And some of his last words on the cross were, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." It was his ability to forgive that allowed him to live in the practice of gratitude. Jesus' gratitude for his life, for others, for the world came out of a profound understanding that he belonged to God. Mary Jo Letty says this, "He has shown us the way with the loaves and fishes, when what we give away multiplies, ignites, and sustains. He has shown us how one good word grows and gathers into a symphony of truth. He has shown us how one small hope, whispered in the dark, fills out and flows until it becomes a movement. He has spoken about the lilies and the birds who do not worry and are blessed in doing nothing, and who bless by being lilies and birds. He has shown us the way when you set the table with your life, and it becomes as real as love, friendship, and community. Thanksgiving is a time that we set aside for intentional gratitude, a time to pause and pay attention to all that is blessing. And I believe Jesus is calling us to even deeper gratitude, to lean into the God to which we belong, to strengthen our souls. I believe Jesus is calling us into a radical way of living, walking a path of perpetual forgiveness. Forgiveness that opens us to ourselves, to each other, and to this entire creation. I believe Jesus is showing us that what it really means to let go of worry and anxiety and open to the fullness of contentment and blessedness. And so I want to close with a second poem from Mary Jo, from Radical Gratitude. This could be a way to begin each day, I believe. Let me awaken in you. Let me lift my arms in praise. I thank you for this once more, this day, this resurrection. Let me throw off the covers of sleep. I trust you will wrap me round with goodness. Let me place my feet down on who you are. Ground, grace, stability of earth. Bear me. Bear with me. Bear me forth into this once more day. This time of my life you have given me. Bless me, O Creator of my beginning. Let the water of your love run over me, within me. Shower me with blessing as I begin this day in your name. Water within water, stream of hope, ocean of faith. Cup me in your hands. Accept the water of my life as it flows through this day. Baptize me once again this day. Expressing gratitude can change the world we live in. In the children's story this morning, Daisy's whole world changed when she began to notice all of the gifts around her, when she recognized that she belonged to God and God was intimately connected with all of life. Like Jesus, we need to know that we too all belong to God. We have no choice in that. Like Jesus, we need to let go of worry in our days that becomes the soil of sin. Like Jesus, we need to learn the art of forgiveness so that we can forgive and forgive and forgive again, even those bad drivers. Like Jesus, we need to embrace each new day in the practice of gratitude.